You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation.
Spark a dream that we're meant to follow.
You're listening to the Extra Magic Hour, brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider. Join the team in the studio as they bring you the spirit of Disney through park news, history, and tips and tricks to make your Disney Parks vacation even more magical.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Extra Magic Hour, a Disney Parks podcast brought to you by the DisInsider.com and Walt's Apartment Podcast Network. That's a lot to say. Welcome in. We're back. First show of 2023. We're going to talk some parks news. Got some friends along here with us to just talk about Disney parks, whatever you name it. We're going to get into it. Happy to be joined by a few of my hosts here. We have Lewis. How you doing, my friend? Really bad timing. Lewis is chewing. Lewis is doing great.
Got a bit of a mouthful.
He's like,
for the audio listeners, he gave a thumbs up.
I did not even realize that he was chewing. But Lewis, good to see you, buddy. We'll come back to you.
Look,
Joey,
he's trying to swallow like a frog.
You're doing absolutely amazing.
Perfect. Good job.
Don't joke.
See, Joey, Disney Universe podcast, Walt's Apartment podcast host. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks for inviting me for a little overtime.
Absolutely.
Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Well, we're all parks people on here, and we're all West Coast parks people, so it's going to be fun. Nicole, how are you?
Good. I feel like we haven't all got together in a while.
It's been a while, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
How you feeling?
I have Theraflu currently in a Christmas mug.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So what cruise did you go on? What ship?
Me?
Yeah.
The Dream.
The Dream. Okay, that's because Courtney and Kelly from Neverland podcast, Neverland Clubhouse
Yeah.
Clubhouse podcast from the Skynet. I'm getting it.
Yes.
Are joining us here as well. They were just with us on the Walt's Apartment live stream. Thank you guys also for staying on with us.
Thanks for inviting us.
Absolutely, and this is. Like you said on the description of your show, you guys are a parks podcast. So I'm thinking halfway through the thing, I wonder if they want to stay on. This would be fun. We could just talk Disney parks and get some different thoughts on a few things from them.
Anytime you want to talk parks, we will talk parks.
Always.
Beautiful.
Got things to say.
So Kelly and Courtney from Neverland Clubhouse podcast, part of the Skynet podcast network, ran by, isn't it Sarah and Richard, right?
Yes.
Shout out to them. So welcome in. This show, like I said, we just talked about the parks. We have some fun. We got a few stories. Sam is not with us. She had to she went back to work today. So she's not with us this week. She is going to record a Imagineering feature for us that will slip into the show here. Brianna is not with us as well. She is actually in the process of coming back across the country to start her new job in Los Angeles. So get back over here safely, Brianna, and we'll have you back in here in a couple of weeks for sure. But just want to get into it. We'll talk about some parks news, some cool things happening. Ladies, since you're here, I'm going to get some opinions on a few things that let's just get into that a little bit. Let's just talk about a couple.
The ladies are on the bottom row.
Off the top of my head, what are you guys looking forward to most for Disney 100?
The new nighttime shows. I'm really excited to see that happen. Wondrous. I'm super excited to see what they'll do with the new fireworks show over the castle.
Nicole's got a story about Wondrous. We're gonna dive deep into that here in a little bit. So yeah.
But also, I love the parks and when they have special events, things going on. So I feel like they'll really milk the 100.
Are y'all ready to be dripped in platinum? Isn't that what they said at the parks panel? Dripped in platinum. Are we ready for that, Kelly?
That sounds pretty bougie.
It does, right?
Just saying.
Yeah. Kelly, are you excited for that? What are you excited
I think it's
for?
so fun. Yeah, I'm excited just to celebrate. Celebrating at Disney parks, especially Disneyland,
Mhm.
is always so fun, and they always have things going on, and they've got a lot of things opening. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, I'm so excited for coming
Dude,
over
you
here.
said that heck of good.
I know you didn't even stammer it. I can't say
We've had a lot
that.
of practice. We've had a lot of practice. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. But we got to ride it over in Florida, and I can't wait to see what they do with ours. It's supposed to be a tad different, and I'm really excited about the queue and the El Capitan. So I'm just excited to have it all. Of course, me and Courtney will be in Florida on January 27th because that's how it works for us.
Yeah,
we're always on the opposite side of the country when celebrations happen.
So when Magic Happens first premiered, we were in Florida. When Mickey and Minnie's opened over there, we were like, we left the day before it opened. So it just.
And now we haven't gotten the timing right, and like we had to reschedule our wish trip. I thought January would be fine. Of course, Disney said no.
We're gonna open up Mickey and Minnie's on this coast, and you're gonna be in Florida. So great.
So it's just perfect. But when we come back in February, we're gonna be doing all of it. So
love it. Joey, what are you looking forward to?
I'm also looking forward to not only the fireworks show, but the new World of Color. Every iteration of World of Color I've really enjoyed. So I think this one's going to be really cool, especially with the updated, like newer animated movies that tied in. I'm glad that it's starting at Disneyland rather than starting the same day everywhere else. It's like, so I'm really excited for that.
Fun fact about Sean, I've never seen World of Color in person. Any of them.
You need to rectify that.
I've seen, well, I was supposed to be there at the end of the month, but stupid life gets in the way and screws everything up. So
for sure.
We'll leave it at that. But Lewis, what are you looking forward to? I didn't forget you, Cole. I'll come back to you.
There's a lot that I'm looking forward to. I mean, it's the 100, so I'm excited for what's going on in the parks, but I'm excited to see what goes on outside of the parks. I would like to see what D23 does for the 100-year anniversary. See what kind of new specials come to Disney Plus. So I'm excited to see what's going on in the parks, but I'm excited to see how much of it overflows just in the Disney Corporation in general.
Has anyone noticed that looking at Lewis right now, he has Mickey ears?
Yeah, I was going to say he has Mickey ears.
So,
he's got the Mickey
Let me take a picture.
Here, hang on a second, Cole.
It looks more like poop.
Here, let me do this, actually. Hang on.
They are small.
A little bit, yeah.
That's straight up
Thank
Mickey ears.
Got it.
All right. Nicole, last but not least, what are you looking forward to for Disney 100?
So, first and foremost, I'm looking forward to the vibe. Like, there's just, I think Courtney and Kelly both touched on it. Like, there's something magical that happens. And for all of us who are diehard Disney fans, we go, for the shenanigans. Well, we go for the shenanigans. Like, we go to mingle with other people that are sharing the excitement. We go to buy on the merch, even if we don't necessarily buy. It's fun to look at. It's fun to see what their little touches that they do in the park. I think it's super cool how the Mickey and Minnie and the whole Toontown kind of ties in together around the same time, because I think that opens in March, right? The actual land. And it's just such a good time. It really shocks me though. Like, I went on today, so my daughter is going for high school dance team. We'll be down there in March, and you can still get like reservations for that day. Like, do people not know Like, what's happening here? Like,
I think people are just like, they're like, they don't want to get in it. They don't want to get in the mess. Like all the annual pass holders and the Disney people, we want to get in the mess. And I think other people are like, and me and Courtney were that way for years. We were like, we're not going opening day. It's too busy. It's too crowded. You're not going to get on the ride. It's not. But then we went for opening day of Rise of the Resistance. And the energy, the electricity that happens, the excitement, and just like,
and let me tell you, trying to get 16 people on a ride, trying to get 16 people on a ride is crazy. But
it was quite an ordeal, but we made it happen. And like, magic kind of happens when you're all thinking good thoughts and thinking happy thoughts, and your pixie dust comes along, and it's just a fun day to be there when something opens. And like, for a long time, me and Courtney were the opposite. We were like, we don't want to do it. We don't want to get in the mess. But now we're like, bring on the mess.
Right.
Yeah. Bring it to me. Like, bring on the mess. I want to go with all my friends. I want to meet everybody there. I want to be in
That's
the
why
mess.
we're so upset that we're going to be on the other side, the other coast when it opens.
Not like we're not going to be on the Wish or anything, but I know, you know.
Brand new I'm sorry you have to be on a cruise, on a Disney cruise. Your second run, like in
first world problems. I'm sorry.
First world problems. But yeah,
legit stress. Okay,
it is.
I get
it.
It is.
So no, it's literally, they announced it and we were like, oh.
Yeah,
and this will be the first. Well, I had also planned to go at the end of the month. We're going to go in March, but I think most I was looking forward to in January is I've never been for like a birthday or a celebration. So my first time being in the park for a celebration was like Disney Plus Day or like D23. So those, I've been to Disney Plus Day twice. And just that, like, that's nothing compared to what's happening, you know, right. But there's just something magical in the park when it's happening. Turning around, I remember at one point this last September, we all turned around and saw blue balloons, like all down Main Street. And we just thought that was the freaking coolest thing. So, I mean, are we going to get like platinum balloons, like silver balloons, like, you know, like the color? Like, are they, you know, what are they going to do? It's going to be fun. So.
Or maybe platinum ears.
Platinum ears. Yeah, we had the Disney Plus ears this year. We had the Disney Plus ears that they gave out. I know for the 50th, they were giving out cupcakes and gold ears.
Gold ears. Yeah.
Yes.
And so I don't know exactly what it's going to be. And we can't get our hopes too high because things have been cut back lately, especially like with the Walt Disney World 50th celebration. A lot of people were let down about that. Mm-hmm. But this is Disney, the whole company, 100th anniversary. This has to be big. This has to be big. If it's not,
like
it's
photo ops around this. You know,
exactly. Yes. Remember the mosaics that they had for the 50th of all? That was the best thing. I just went around and took pictures of all of the mosaics. I love that.
Oh, even like the 60th, where they made it look like you were climbing up the Matterhorn.
Yeah, I love those photos up too. Yeah.
So fun. So, and I also learned. Go ahead. No, you go.
No. Ladies first.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So I also learned. I was reading. I kind of was geeking out on something. I went down a rabbit hole, as we all do, about, I don't remember, some swag, like the history of Disney swag, and it has been very customary throughout the history for them to actually give out ears on special occasions. And I didn't know that. So like here I thought, oh my gosh, what a clever idea. Disney Plus, let's get the ears and like, let's wear the hat, and just very traditional, right? I thought that was brilliant, like as if it was something new. Boy, did I feel like an idiot. Like they've been doing it literally for, you know, the last 100 years. And I'm like, damn, I wish I had me a pair of those originals, or, you know, like another celebration that somebody got for free. I'd probably pay $50 for, you know? So
well,
I don't know.
If that's the case, I have a pair of extra, the first One More Disney Day for leap year from 2000.
Oh, no way.
12, I think it is. Yeah, me and a buddy of mine went. We went for the 24-hour day, and it was solid up until when California closed. And then when California closed, as usual, Disney got crammed packed, and there was some people literally just like 2 a.m. just sleeping just so they did it. I'm like, dude, you either got to go on rides or go home. Like, don't. Like, there was some people just literally sleeping because they could. I was like, that's
it's
intense.
not Harbor Boulevard. Come on, people.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing here. We went to Rock Your Disney Side in 2014, and that was like one of the last ones they did, and it was people sleeping on benches. Yeah, crazy. And and they closed Disney California Adventure early.
I would totally sleep in Disneyland if I just to say I did.
One of the coolest.
I'm not gonna say I didn't get tired. I was very tired. We stayed till I think we went from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. It was very tired.
Oh. Wow. That's
we were there till about 3:30, 4 o'clock. We were walking through Tomorrowland, and we knew it was time to go because out of nowhere, where the Tomorrowland Terrace is, you hear Santeria by Sublime, and I was like, "It's really happening right now?" And it is crammed, packed. And so me and my buddy were like, "You know what? It'd be cool to say we did the whole 24 hours, but parking, exiting, it's going to be a nightmare." So we bailed. It was about 4 a.m. We finally called it.
That's still
wow.
That's good stuff.
I knew I was tired when I threw off my shoes that were killing me, and I bought those big plushy Minnie Mouse
shoes.
slippers.
Oh, yeah.
And I was walking around in Disneyland with the Minnie Mouse slippers. I don't know if you've ever watched Modern Family, but
Gloria did the same thing.
Laura did the same thing. I was like, I'm doing that because like I'm done with these shoes. I'm buying these slippers.
Love it.
All right. So let's get into some of our news. Holidays are ending this weekend at Disneyland. I'm not sure when they end at Walt Disney World. I'm assuming it's around the same time. I would think that they probably do the same transfer over, but we're talking Disneyland tonight, so that's fine. But
we could give Walt Disney World some love. Let me find
I think they close the 11th.
The 11th, okay, so they both close this weekend. Oh no, that's a couple. Yeah.
Although the Haunted Mansion is extended till the end of January.
Till the end of January, yes.
Yeah.
But the biggest takeaway from the holidays at Disneyland this year is the fact that if you were a Magic Key holder, you didn't get to go.
Nope. We were blocked out.
You were blocked out.
We were blocked.
I saw the other day, I think Lewis put in our group chat, Genie Plus sold out.
For the first time.
For the first time. And Magic Key holders weren't there. So,
right.
So obviously their plan of not having the Magic Key holders in the park during the holidays didn't affect them at all. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
The Magic Key holders were pissed, obviously, and all the TikToks and the people sad, and 3 more days and 2 more days and 1 more day.
But that much more food and merchandise got sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
You look at it. That's true, probably, though.
Here's the thing. You've got a lot of tourists in there thinking that they bought the Genie Plus to sidetrack the line. And then everybody bought Genie Plus. And so now you have a different line.
Can you imagine how that was?
Yeah.
Do we know what the wait time was for like those sold out Genie Plus days?
I think they were still pretty high.
They did say that like the standby line didn't move at all because they were trying to get the lightning lane through. And so it did inflate the wait times. But they did say also at the end of the night when, you couldn't get Genie Plus anymore, you ran out of lightning lane times, then the lines were moving pretty well at the end of the night.
There's no more Disney Plus, Genie Plus. There's, So it was kind of a give and a take there. I think one of it was maybe up over 2 hours or so, 2 or 3 hours. I can't remember what ride it was for. Somebody somewhere posted it, but again, that is not because the park was that busy. That was because everybody bought Genie Plus, and they were trying to filter the line between regular line and Genie Plus line. There's always going to be a longer wait if there's a priority line. So
So we went in September when we went. We got in line for cars through the lightning lane. We paid. The line, I believe, was just shy of 3 hours for standby. And from the time that we got in line to scan to the time we exited, it was 20 minutes. And that standby line was almost 3 hours.
Yeah. But that's not uncommon for that, right? And that's why you have to buy for it.
But I mean, just say the difference in the timing as far as, not all are that drastic. But.
Because you're paying for a service, Disney is making good on that service, because the people that are standing by chose not to do the Genie Plus, or couldn't get the Genie Plus, or chose not to do it on that ride, right? And because you're paying a premium for the service, they have to make sure that you get through that line faster than the standby. So it's always going to be longer.
Yeah.
It's
no, for sure.
I am a fan of Genie Plus. I think it's worth it because I don't go enough to, I will pay for it when I go. I'm sorry to the people that don't pay for it. I'm sorry for the people that don't pay for it. I mean, I think we had this discussion when we were all down there. Nicole said the same thing. She said, yeah, I'll pay for it. Why not? Because you're paying for that service, and you're paying for that extra service. I would even pay more for it. We've had this discussion on this show before of how much more would you pay for it. I know Universal is like $200 for theirs. I don't know if I go that high, but this is a question that goes back and forth. What could they have charged on the day that they sold out and made probably twice the amount
I don't think
money?
they could have charged anything. I think they could have charged anything. And it probably would have sold out.
I agree.
I have, we have lots of friends with kids and families. And I have one of my old bosses, we talk Disney all the time. And he says, I would pay any amount to skip that line for my family, for my kids, because we go and we can't go all the time. And I agree. Yeah. And they would pay any amount to skip the line with their kids because they want a good experience for them.
I had a coworker that went on the 10th of December, and she didn't realize she paid $25. She had it for the whole entire weekend because she bought it ahead of time with her ticket and price. Because I think you can still do that here. You can't do that at Walt Disney World anymore. But so she prepaid for it, and she didn't realize she had it for 2 days. And she's like, "Yeah, I thought I paid $50 for one day." And I was like, "No, you didn't." But okay. And she was fine with it because they don't go all the time. So
right.
But she could have used it for the second day.
Exactly.
The Magic Key holders, they don't have like that option that Max Pass had, do they? Where you can buy it for the year?
No.
I love that.
Terrible.
That's what I was going to say. I think Magic Key can be charged, or not Magic Key. The Genie Plus can be charged whatever they want. I like it. I do think it needs some fine tuning. I'm not a fan of once you ride once, it's a wrap.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I don't
Universal
like that.
does the same thing though.
Yeah.
I don't like that they're line queues. Not all the rides you're getting a real bang for your buck. When you look at, say, Rise of the Resistance versus Indiana Jones, Rise of the Resistance, you're getting a huge bang for your buck. Indiana, you're not really. I mean, if it's just that outside queue.
Well, Rise of the Resistance is a individual lightning lane, and Indiana Jones is included in the Genie Plus.
Right.
Okay, but if you went Indiana versus Thunder Mountain's line queue for lightning lane is twice as long than Indiana Jones. So I think Genie Plus is a solid purchase. It just needs to be fine tuned because Max Pass I think was the perfect option of Genie Plus. They just evolved it into something that was less than that. I like where Max Pass was versus old school Fast Pass. Genie Plus is like a hybrid of the two. It just needs a little bit more love, but I think it's on track to do what they need to do. One thing I found funny, though, was all the Magic Key or a lot of the Magic Key holders that are on Instagram, stuff like that were upset about the closure. We're still buying tickets to go in. I'm like, you guys are just feeding the beast right now. If you don't want this, you're feeding it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I was like, dudes, you can't be paying for it.
Yeah, I saw
buy that ticket.
I think I want to say I saw 3 concurrent. I know Best Life and I know Fresh Baked both. I saw them went there like twice.
Yeah.
So you pay $1,500 a year for your pass, and you're paying like what? Probably if you take you and your wife or you and someone else, you're paying $500.
Exactly. At least that.
They're probably using Patreon money, though.
Yeah, that's true. They're using Patreon money.
That's fair.
Fair.
Right now in SoCal, you can buy a 3-day one park for $73.
Yeah.
So that I believe that was still going on during that time.
Yeah, so they released it for that time. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were still. It was $73 a day
if they got that deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
you know, like,
and you know what? Like with Universal, like I paid that $200 extra for a ticket, and it was shit. Like it was such a disappointment. The rides were breaking down. They had no organization to their queues whatsoever, and the lines for that, their version of the Fast Pass or whatever, we were still waiting like almost 2 hours for something like that. Jurassic Park, it was 3 hours for the extra money line. It's like, no.
Really?
So as much as it was horrible. And we were during a weekday. It should not have been. And
was that during summer or?
No, it was when I took, well, it was my kids' spring break. So not during spring break normal.
Okay.
It was because my kids have a different whatever, but it was in March is when we went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was horrific. Yeah, but anyways, and it was coming off of a pandemic, and so I'm sure that there was other things involved. But I was going off on a tangent. But anyways, like there's so much, like like I would like to maybe fine tune what we have here at Disney, but in the grand scheme of things, I paid for it every time and I got my money back. Like I definitely made those passes and the max passes work.
Oh, we do too.
Yeah, by far.
You know, Joey made a good point in the beginning of this conversation. He said, how much more money did they make off of food and merchandise with no annual pass holders there? Because everyone was there for the experience to buy the food and buy the merchandise. Brilliant on their part to block out I don't agree with it, but I think money-wise, they knew they capitalized the best they could on the fact that they only had people that were going to spend the money because they're there with their families. So
the thing is with that philosophy is, yes, it works when it's peak time. Mm-hmm. You don't need your magic key holders. As a magic key holders, I hate saying that, but yeah. At peak time, you don't need your magic key holders. The time that you need your magic,
you don't need them.
Exactly.
But everything else, you do.
Yeah. The time that you need them is your January, your February, like what used to be the slow time. I don't know if they will have a slow time, especially with the 100th anniversary, and we're still coming off a pandemic. I don't know. Last year there really wasn't a low time. Everything was still up, but
correct me if I'm wrong. Like us having Christmas week as magic key holders or as annual pass holders is a relatively new thing, isn't it?
As not for the top tier.
Yes, but we've had the top tier pass.
And that had no blackout dates in the past, old AP.
But not all the time. Like when they had...
Well, you had your Signature Plus, and then you had your Signature. The Signature was always blocked out at the 2 weeks, but Signature Plus was never blocked out.
Yeah, but even before that, like...
Premium was never blocked out.
Yeah, like I think that's a relatively new thing that we can go Christmas week. I think that was kind of always blacked out at the highest tier, except for when they did Signature Plus, because Signature Plus there was no blackout dates, but before that I think it was blacked out because it's their busiest week. It's their busiest week.
Yeah. I remember always saying, like, oh, we'll go here. It's a slow time, is certain times in October, certain times in January, February, and March. But now, I was, as you guys were talking, I was like thinking back. I'm like, when was like the actual last slow time? And I don't think they've actually had a slow season once, like
Cars Not after the pandemic. Yeah.
2012.
Yeah. It's always
been busy. I
think
California Adventure has some slow times, but Disneyland does not.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why I knew having all of us on here tonight was going to be a good conversation.
Did you see what opens in February though? February 11th?
Yes, we did.
The SEA Treehouse. I'm calling it SEA Treehouse.
Really? No, they put it back though. They put it back. It's still they put it out there to have a date, and they took it back.
Oh,
yeah, they took it back.
Did they call it the SEA Treehouse?
No, I was calling it. It's the Adventureland Treehouse.
Yeah. So it's not.
It probably is going to be the SEA Treehouse, though. Yeah. But there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs in there.
Adventureland Days in March, so I'm looking forward to going up in that.
Hopefully, it's open by then.
Yeah, exactly.
Next story. Let's go with your first story real quick, Nicole. The one about the Rose Bowl.
Yeah. So, do you guys recall Disneyland Resort ever hosting any of the colleges for the Rose Bowl? Yeah. Okay, so have they done the cavalcade like in the past where they have come into Disneyland? They've been a part of like a mini cavalcade and gone down Main Street and then celebrated. I don't remember.
I mean, there's always been that thing where they say, "I'm going to the Disney World after the Super Bowl."
That's the Super Bowl.
Disney World.
Right. Yes, and that's for Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So Utah. So on January 2nd, they had obviously the Rose Bowl, and it was Utah and Penn State, and it was very cool. They said it's a tradition to visit Disneyland Resort, but I don't recall it ever being on like a cavalcade. So maybe I just am not in the know.
So I've never, for college level, I've never seen like a cavalcade, but I've seen the schools like on rides. They're like posted up, and people are taking pictures of them in front of the castle,
right?
Stuff like that. That's happened for years, and even I think the only time they actually did kind of a cavalcade, it might have been like the late '80s, early '90s. I think they did it for 2 or 3 years. But Disneyland hosted the Pigskin Classic, which took place at Angel Stadium, and it was kind of like a kickoff to college football. And but that they only did like 2 or 3 of those. But but all the players are always at Disneyland.
So they did a cavalcade with their families this year.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, so they had, the head coach Kyle. From Utah, they had the quarterback, they had family members, and they essentially like went through and took them. It was like the 134th Rose Parade, which was exciting, and then the 109 Rose Bowl game, which was hosted on Monday.
But it was
just
at all tonight.
Oh, she's passed.
Sorry.
You woke up a puppy.
You woke up.
I know. I'm talking business right now, okay?
All right.
But anyways, I just thought like I wanted to feature and like just kind of do like a personal shout out because I think, I love college football. I'm not really, I wouldn't call myself knowledgeable, but I love college football. And to see them bring their families and to see them just really celebrate these humans and bring them to Disneyland, bring their families, do the whole parade thing. Like that is so awesome for these kids.
Yeah.
And they're really young adults now, but it's just so awesome. So anyways, I just wanted to chat about that really quick to see if that was something that you guys had ever been aware of them doing the parade.
Yeah, I've just seen them around attractions and photo ops. And I remember the last time, I'm an Oregon Duck fan. Last time they were at the Rose Bowl, they had a huge photo op in front of the castle with Donald Duck. The
Ducks. So cool.
Yeah, so.
I mean, we've always said that it was like, oh, well, it's Rose Bowl time. So, like, obviously they're going to go to Disneyland. So we always kind of assumed they'd be there, because you're in town. What else are you going to do?
Right.
I mean,
right.
But I do think that, like, this Rose Bowl and Rose Parade had a bigger Disney presence than in years past. Because, yes, they had their float with the Wish, but they also had Mickey and Minnie in the parade. They threw out the football over to the Rose Bowl for the start of the football game, which was kind of a little messed up, but it still worked. And I think that they were really celebrating the 100 years of Disney.
Yeah.
Very big presence this year.
With that Rose Bowl, because, they hit 109. So, I mean, it's still very similar. And I always wondered, like, in years past, I definitely felt Disney could have held a bigger presence because the history behind that Rose Parade is so cool. And just how intimate and small town it started and just how big it's gotten. And I don't have cable here at the house, so I now can go back and watch it. So I haven't got to see, I only saw clips throughout the day, but I am looking forward to going back and watching the entire Rose Parade. But I also noticed Disney did have a bigger presence when they did the Macy's Day Parade as well, which like they had kind of been quiet for a few years, I feel like. And maybe because of the pandemic, and maybe I feel like that's just the last 5 years. It's only been 3, but it feels like forever.
I mean, but the cruise ship the last 2 years.
Yeah, they had the Wish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Macy's one. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I just thought that was really cool that they brought their families, that they brought the head coach and some of the key players to celebrate and let them go down Main Street. Mm-hmm. So fun for them. So fun.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, Disney doesn't always have a big presence in these outside parades. I wish they did because of, we see in Becky Klein's holiday book that she did of all the holidays of all of the Disney parks, she does explain that Walt really was integral into the Halloween parade in Anaheim. And so, and I feel like he would have been integral into like the Pasadena one because they're so close to Burbank as well. And that's where his studio is. So I really feel like, and Disney does have an integral part in that when they have something big coming down the pipe, like when Galaxy's Edge was going to open, they did a big 3-pronged float that showed Galaxy's Edge, and also I think when they redid Tomorrowland, they had a big like 3-thing float. So they always go big, but they don't always go every year.
Yeah,
and I was a little disappointed we got the Wish again because although the Wish was amazing and it's still a big prominent thing, they didn't do like a new float, right? Like the Wish.
Well, their float was okay. So you're combining the Macy's and the Rose Parade because Macy's was the Wish float, and in the Rose Parade it was the Fire Engine. Which, with all of Disney's marketing, I thought Bob Gurr was going to write on it. Honestly,
he did take a picture on it.
He put out a picture. I don't know if it was recent, but he put out a picture about it, and I thought Bob Gurr was going to write on it. But then it was Mickey, Minnie, and that. And I love the fact that they threw the first football, but I don't know, the timing of the cutting away was not right.
Bob Gurr was busy twerking with TikTokers.
Right.
That's right. That's what he does.
Back to D23.
Bob Gurr doing big things.
Hey,
he's a crazy old man.
Speaking of D23, I think we're going to be getting that little statue soon, yeah?
Yeah, they announced
it ships the spring of 2023. Spring.
Yeah, and you can choose your card. You can change your card to Disney, Marvel, Pixar.
I thought that was really cool. That was really cool.
I wish they would have had all of them in one card too, though.
I do too because I can't choose.
Yeah.
So do you get it when you re-up? Do you get it?
Yeah, when you
renew. Yeah, when you renew.
Wait till September.
But the statues are not shipping until spring.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great member. They kill it with the members' gifts.
But it's when you renew in 2023, right? Not for last year. That's
I like Lewis said. I'm looking forward to seeing what D23 does for the 100. Because
do you think they have a D23 this year?
No,
I don't think they have it. I don't think they have an expo, but they will.
They're going to have an event at the studios. They already announced it. They just don't know when. They haven't announced when it is, but it's coming. There's going to be an event.
Me and Courtney
at the
were very fortunate to go to the 10th anniversary of D23, and what they did for that, I cannot wait to see what they do for the 100 years.
Yeah.
And once the registration opens,
you got to get on it. You got to get on it.
It's going to sell out.
Well, when you guys hear something, let us know.
You got it.
If there was an expo this year, tickets would have been on sale right after Christmas.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if they would say, "Hey, it is the 100th year, and it's literally 2023," which is when it's supposed to be. Was supposed to be,
I think if they were going to do another one this year, they would have announced it at the end of last year.
They're going to have a destination D. They always have a destination D on the off years of when they have a D23 expo. Right. So they will have that in November.
If they did it this year, it'd be like, wouldn't it be cool if we did this?
Right.
Imagine if we did this.
We would just get a whole lot of like blue skying, and nobody liked that.
What's behind the castle? So, okay, Lewis, what's your story? Your story is about Run Disney, right?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
You're muted, yo. Mm-hmm. You're muted.
You're still muted, but that's cool.
Great.
I agree.
Everyone's nodding. I'm like, all right, cool. I got a good story. Everyone's like, yeah.
Holy screw. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, they're bringing Run Disney back to Disneyland the beginning January of next year, which I'm super excited for because just like we were talking about with D23, Run Disney, it's a huge revenue stream for Walt Disney World. I mean, people buy those run packages just to get the medal. Like, you don't even actually have to run. Like, all that stuff comes to you. So for most of the runs, some of the runs you actually have to be there because you get like a medal on top of medals, like the Dumbo Double Dare.
Dumbo Double Dare. Yes.
Yeah, it was a 5K followed by a half marathon in the same weekend. So the Run Disney's coming back to Disneyland, which is going to be super exciting. The cool thing about Run Disney in Disneyland is the circuit is and when they do the half marathon or the 5K or the 10 miler, Disneyland doesn't have a lot of room to run because they're surrounded by hotels. So a lot of your runs are in and out of the theme parks themselves. As we're like Walt Disney World, you're running through like the parking lots, the structures, the areas. Disneyland has such a small footprint here in Anaheim that you're running throughout the parks for most of your run. So I'm excited for it. I'm planning on signing up for the January 11th one to run. It's a half marathon, which is 13.1. So I got to get back in shape for runs, but I'm excited for it. You can walk. The only downfall about run, you have time limits. So like you have to get in there between a certain time because they have a park to open and get ready for. So that's the only downfall.
So if it sticks to plan as in the past, the January one will be the Star Wars themed, which it has been in the past. I did a 5K, but I did the inaugural Avengers race.
How fun!
Yeah, and it was really cool because you go down like the main Disney Drive under downtown Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Go back like the backside of the backside of Screaming, and come out of Cars Land. But then they have like photo ops, and I stopped because at the time this was the first time you can actually get a photo op with Black Widow and Hawkeye. Because they only had Cap, Thor. That was it.
Shout out to Jeremy Renner. Get well soon.
Yeah, exactly. So I got in line to see Black Widow because you know that's how I roll. And my sister was feeling bad. She's like, "Oh my god, what happened to Joey?" They see, and my brother-in-law now, but at the he sees this lady in a walker pass before me. So she texts me. She's like, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm in line to get a picture of Black Widow." But anyways, I made a good time. But yeah, my sister did the half marathon, and they run through like Angel Stadium down on the field, and so because we went down there, took a picture, went there, and then they came back. And
good luck, Lewis.
It's really cool.
So right now I have just shy of 55 miles under my feet. Now, granted, I stopped doing them like 8 years ago, but yeah, I was doing them like I had like a run a month, and it was tight until I realized that a half marathon is 13.1 miles, and I signed up for that run like Wreck-It Ralph. I asked a buddy of mine that sponsored me. I was like, "Will there be a medal?" He said, "Absolutely." I was like, "Sign me up." I showed up in Vans, Dickie shorts, and a T-shirt, and a water bottle, and it was a bad idea.
That's nothing. The Avengers, there's a guy in a full Iron Man cosplay.
Oh, jeez.
Like the acrylic, everything. Our friend, we talk about them a lot, but Sarah and Richard, they've done a lot of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they did a
People
lot.
have done the half marathon in Florida, flew out the next weekend to do the Star Wars one at Disneyland because they would have a coast to coast medal.
Yeah.
Also,
that's crazy.
So, yeah, it's nuts.
Well,
I know like Megan said, it's a money maker.
Megan did, I think, 3 in one weekend or something.
Yeah,
like she did like a half marathon or like 2 half marathons and a 5K, and then went to the parks and drank.
Yeah.
Like, damn,
that's what they do. I
guess being in
I was
shape
pissed
is a whole
because I got my
thing.
medal at the time. It was plastic. I'm like, all this crap for a plastic medal. Now they're all metal. But
when COVID happened, they had the Lion King virtual 5K marathons over at Walt Disney World. and me, Bill, and Barry, and Chris from Airbnb signed up. We didn't do it, but I got really badass medals. I'm not gonna lie, they're cool. I should put them back here too behind me. They're weighty. They're awesome. They're really cool. Like,
the expo's good. The Run Disney Expo that they have down
at the
hotel
looks like
is amazing.
Can we just come watch this happen, or do we have to like run it? Can I come watch?
No, you can watch, and you can actually volunteer to be a cheer. You could get a group of people, like say, you could get a group of Walt's apartment people, and they'll put you in a certain corner and everything. But they give you clappers and streamers and stuff.
We might have to do that. I mean, I'm not going to run. I'm not going to lie. So, but
well, that and,
I mean, I think it would be fun to run at least once.
They even market it virtually, so like you can sign up. Like they have like when they do the runs, you can sign up virtually. So you can do it at your house. So you still have the sick medal, the jersey, the pennant, all that stuff, the whole wardrobe, but you're doing it virtually. So therefore, Disney just made $175 on you, and you're not even coming out.
Yeah,
and then
mine was
for
150. I'm like,
and
sure,
for
why
some
not?
runs, you get like free tickets, or you get like early admission. There's so many other perks outside of just the medal and the jersey pennant.
Maybe we'll have to sign up to just come support Lewis.
Disney nerd stuff is the end of it at Disneyland. Like I went in and got a cool picture of Big Thunder Mountain with the sun rising behind it. I got to find that. But then you go around towards Splash Mountain and you go backstage. And so when you're backstage, all the third shift people are there in a big group cheering you on. They're like, you got it. The third shift is rooting for you. You're going along the backside of Splash Mountain, so you see like the cafeteria everybody talks about, or I'm like, that's where they grow the pickles because I can smell them. So seeing like backstage is really cool. Then you pop out by where the tram comes out. Then you got then through downtown Disney. But each race has a different route too, so you're not running the same route every time.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'll probably do it again.
It sounds cool. Lewis, honestly, maybe I'll come down and just try to support you.
Yeah, tickets go on sale. I think it's mid-February, so I'm excited for that. If you're part of Club Run, you got like a 2-day early admission, but since it's a half marathon, chances of tickets still being available for general admission are high because obviously a half marathon is 13.1 and a 5K I think is 3.1. I think it's just over 3 miles. So the 5Ks usually sell out a lot quicker. But this half marathon one I'm excited for. So my goal is to get one of them chest harnesses with the GoPro and so film it all. So I'm excited for it.
Perfect. So here's what I want to do now. I want to play our Getaway Today spot and then come back into Sam's Imagineer feature. Then after that, we'll do Nicole's last story, which is about Wondrous, which I'm sure we all want to hear about and talk about that. Everyone's okay still time-wise? I know we're going a little bit long. Everyone's good? Yep. Cole, you good?
Yes.
Okay.
It's past my bedtime. But
I know. So let's hear about Getaway Today from a familiar voice. Then we'll hear Sam's Imagineer feature, and we'll come right back in, hit Wondrous for a few minutes, and we'll wrap up the show. We'll be right back.
Well, hello, and welcome to Let's Get to Know Our Sponsor. Getaway Today has been helping Disney vacation dreams come true since 1990. Whether you choose to visit the happiest place on earth or travel to Orlando and beyond, they want to help you. Need to know the best hotel in the area? What theme park ticket should you buy? Have a last-minute change? No worries. Their travel experts are always here to help. Want to book a cruise and don't know where to start? Hey, they can help with that too. They will help you find the perfect cruise for your vacation, whether it is your first time or you're a well-seasoned cruiser. When you book your cruise with one of the Getaway Today's experts, you will have a dedicated agent to help you every step of the way. They take care of the details so you can have the most fun. Getaway Today has layaway, peace of mind travel, allowing you to cancel or make changes up to 72 hours in advance. You will always have the most up-to-date vacation information, both pre-arrival and upon your welcome. Getaway Today will guarantee the best prices with no hidden fees. And every time you book through Getaway Today, They will donate a portion back to a charitable organization in your area. And so far, over $4.5 million has been donated. So click the link in our show notes to start your Disney vacation planning for more information and the best deals. Tell them Walt's Apartment sent you. And until next time, enjoy the view from Walt's apartment.
So I'm really excited about the Imagineer that we are going to be talking about today, because we are going to be talking about the Illusioneer Yale Gracey. Most people know about Master Gracey from the Haunted Mansion. The name comes from the Illusioneer, who created a lot of the magic that we find in the Haunted Mansion. But that's not all that Yale Gracey did for the Walt Disney Company. In 1939, he was a layout artist working on the animated classic Pinocchio. He was then an art director on Fantasia and The Three Caballeros. While he was working on those animated classics, he furthered his training in art at the Art Institute of Chicago, the University of Southern California, and at Chouinard. He, in that time from 1944 to 1956, also contributed to the layouts and backgrounds of more than 50 animated shorts. Most of those featured Donald Duck. Rolly Crump described Gracey as something of a Geppetto, always at work tinkering with little gadgets, miniature objects and models, illusions and effects. He would often construct set pieces for no particular reason other than to satisfy his own curiosity and to see whether he could get things to work. This appeased Walt because one Saturday afternoon, Walt was making his rounds through the offices at WED to see what his team was working on, and he came across one of Yale's gadget mock-ups, which was something that included like an illusion of falling snow. And Walt was impressed and said, guess what? Here you go. You get this big, giant room in the building solely for yourself. You can tinker with gadgets, effects, mechanics. Gracey had no pressure of meeting deadlines or performing specific tasks. He was removed from the animation department and pretty much was put in charge of what Walt considered research and development for Disneyland attractions. All that Yale Gracey's job at that point was to think things up. Bob Gurr recalled that he would literally sit in this room and fiddle with this stuff and occasionally invent something. And Walt was totally happy with that, because that's like the premise of Imagineering, coming up with something that nobody else has come up with and making magic come to life. At that point, Yale Gracey started working with Rolly Crump, and they did the rehab of the Fantasyland dark rides in Disneyland. Gracey improved the barrel gags in Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. He created the endless stream of tea pouring from the Mad Hatter's pot into Alice's cup, and added the volcano and campfire effects to Neverland and Peter Pan's Flight. Gracey had Crump design kinetic mobiles of sinister eyes to hang in the scary forests of Snow White's adventures, so that there would be eerie spectators floating in the dark tree branches. Just these things that add such an element of interaction and immersion. These are the things that we love about Walt Disney Imagineering projects. And Yale Gracey kind of pushed a lot of that out there. He was the Illusioneer. He went from cloudy skies to misty grottos, adding his art to the atmosphere and special effects of Pirates of the Caribbean, with a variety of illusions and mechanical gags, including a cold fire effect for the burning city scene. The flames are actually developed with mylar sheeting, fans, and lighting effects, but the effect was almost too real because they were walking the Anaheim Fire Department chief through, like, for an inspection type thing, and the head of the fire department's like, you can't have a fire in here. So Gracey's imitation fire design was so realistic that it even concerned the fire inspector when he was coming through for a walkthrough, until he got close enough up to see that, well, it's plastic. So a lot of the magic inside of the Haunted Mansion is kind of where Gracey got his legacy from. The ballroom scene with the ghosts dancing, the singing bust, pretty much Little Leota, Madame Leota, all of those illusionary things are what made Yale Gracey stand out as an Imagineer and continue to stand out. And I honestly hope that that's where Imagineering is going back to. We have leadership that says they want Imagineering to come back now, right? We've lost a lot of really great Imagineers, and a lot of these skills are being lost. A lot of these things are being digitalized. And fans still want this kind of illusionary magic. So I hope that the next Yale Gracey is out there somewhere and we get that continued in our Imagineering experience.
Thank you so much, Sam. Appreciate that awesome story about Yale Gracey. Let's pick up the show back after the Getaway Today spot.
That song makes me happy.
Does it?
I love Figment.
The voice makes me happy.
The song does make me happy too.
The Orlando and Beyond gets me every time.
Yes, but you get it? It's because it's like to infinity and beyond.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got it. Total Buzz Lightyear vibes.
Okay.
You can't hear that. You can't hear that ad without smiling. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, hello.
I'm going like.
It took me
I'm rocking out to the music.
It took me like 2 or 3 times.
So we don't have a chance to actually talk to her, but she's only on this show. But when she does it, she texts me and says, "God dang it, my voice." But
it's cute.
Getaway Today, check it out. They're awesome. We love them. And we love having them being part of us.
Much.
Also, Designer Park Co. Check them out. And then also, as Sam mentioned on our live show, we definitely are starting our Patreon campaign. If you want to join us in there, please do. Links in the show notes below, which explains all the stuff. You want to hear all the stuff, you can listen to the other show, and Sam explained it all. But let's get into the last topic of the night, Wondrous. This is the fireworks show, right? That's going to be at the castle. I just want to know, Nicole, are there drones?
I'm sure. They don't talk about drones specifically in this article. So we are 22 days from the celebration. And I did learn today that Citizen is actually the sponsor for keeping time on the countdown. So that's pretty cool. I believe it's going to be like a lot of the other shows just on crack, and it's going to make us all cry. Like they're going to bring it. I feel like once I started reading this, and I got this just straight from the Disney.com, Disney Go or Disney.go.com or whatever. So I tried to keep it like as authentic, as we could. But in reading this and then looking back and thinking about the projections over the last few years and the things that they've done, they've just freaking like testing shit out to see how it's going to go. Like, I see the big picture now and I'm here for it and I'm vested and I'm emotional about it and I'm super, super stoked. Just to give you like a little blip, is this all new nighttime spectacular will celebrate 100 years of Walt Disney Animation Studio. Sorry, it's the Therapy talking. In an experience that ignites the dreamer in all of us. Wondrous Journeys will feature nods to every film released by the iconic studio over the past century. The music, the characters, the special moments from our favorite songs, including Encanto, Hercules, Princess and the Frog, Peter Pan, Frozen, Treasure Planet, Big Hero 6, Moana, and more.
Even the Black Cauldron?
Treasure Planet.
I hope so.
It had that one iconic song that I love.
Yes.
What about Song of the South? Were we getting that?
Oh.
Like, I'm kind
Cringed.
I feel that they need to find a way to include every single thing they've done. Like, everything that they've released, I feel that they need to do. I am a little peeved, like, they immediately, like, say Encanto, Princess and the Frog, Hercules, Frozen, Moana, Big Hero 6. Like, those are some fairly newer. Like, what about freaking Mary Poppins?
Oh, it'll be in there. They're just...
And those have been in every show that they've released over the last couple of years with the 50th in Walt Disney World. It was in Harmonious. It was in Enchantment. It was in Happily Ever After. It was in Wishes. I'd like them to find new songs, like dig in that archive, like dig in there.
The Yodel song from Home on the Range.
Like dig deep.
I mean, there's songs from Fox and the Hound or Robin Hood that got good ones.
Yes. When you're the best of friends. I love that one. Yes.
I hope it starts with, like, you know, honestly, I hope it starts with Steamboat Willie with him whistling. I think that would be like the best beginning to start the whole thing.
You need
take us through the journey.
Yep.
Like, take us.
Yeah.
And Lewis, to answer your question,
what did you say?
I say you got to have multiple Walt Disney sound bites throughout the show.
First, you better.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That was their biggest mistake with Enchantment, was Walt Disney was not in it.
Yep.
And then they put him in it, and then it was better.
Yep.
It was a little better.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, it'd be really cool, and I'm just armchair imagineering here. For the 100-year celebration, you do a layover for Abraham Lincoln. You have Walt reiterating the open day speech.
Geez.
Oh, gosh. Everybody would be in there.
That
Are you
place would
kidding
be
me?
packed.
I will
Walt
sit there and cry. Okay.
Walt talking in free AC. I'm in.
Yeah.
We
So
don't need
true.
Tom Hanks. Just bring in the auto.
Yeah, that's a great idea, actually.
And actually, they need to do, D23 needs to go in and do more events like they did. I actually had the opportunity to go and see them present Dave Smith posthumously with his window on Main Street. They did a whole little kind of a panel talk with Don Hahn and all of that, and some people, Rebecca Klein, who knew him best, and they had this whole panel and presentation about Dave Smith and his window on Main Street, and they need to use that. I mean, yes, we want to see Abraham Lincoln in that show more, but also, like, pick a few days and do more of that stuff and have those.
Yeah.
Yes, I would love some history in there. Like, dig deep this year.
Exactly. How long is it going to be?
I don't want just like the surface money making facade things that, and I understand that they have to capture your non-Disney geek, right? Yes. They have to capture the kids. They have to capture all ages. But I would love to see them to dig deep and go and just rip our hearts out with some of this stuff. Like, give us some history, give us some pieces. They do talk about was somebody going to say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay. They talk about.
I was going to answer. Sean said, "How long is it going to be?" If they play their cards right, they can blend this right into Disneyland's 70th, because I think we're about to celebrate the 68th this year.
Yeah. So how long is the show going to be?
Oh, they don't say that either.
You're going to fit 60 different clips into a thing. It's going to be really jumbled.
I'm hoping it's like a 25-minute show, because the Mickey's Mixed Magic was only like a 10-minute show, 13-minute show at the most. So I'm hoping it's like 25, 30 minutes. Like,
Remember was about 20, 25.
Disneyland Forever? Yeah, that was 20.
No, it needs to be on par with Remember Dreams Come True.
Yeah, Remember Dreams Come True. We need something like that. Yeah, we definitely, like, Julie Andrews announced that one, you know, like we need something like that. We need somebody big to give that opening monologue, like a Julie Andrews Remember Dreams Come True thing.
Yes.
That's great.
Okay, I'll do it.
Joey is volunteering as tribute.
Lewis, I think they honestly do play a clip of Zippity Doo Dah. It's just my opinion.
I think they're gonna play the song, but we probably won't get a clip of it because obviously the song is still originated from the Splash Mountain Ride now.
Well, I don't think we'll see a clip of all these movies. Is that what it says?
It says we're going to get nods
like they're going to. Like, they're going to do their best to really take us through.
Damn.
Well, they did the test. I think I sent you a video, Sean. They did the Walt Disney World, the test screening of the projection mapping and stuff like that. So I think they're going to do that where it's a collage of everything. So, but I don't think we'll see anything. We won't see anything from Song of the South.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get a song, though, and it's probably going to be Zippity Doo Dah because it's the most iconic one from that.
Yeah.
Even though there are some, I think Laughing Place is the better one, but.
Yeah.
So they talk about, it says state-of-the-art projections effects will surround you with blank pieces of paper, pencil sketches, splash of color, as the artistry and animators breathe life into beloved characters from Mickey Mouse, Bambi, Ariel, Maribel, and in a thrilling moment of heroism with Baymax soars over Beauty and the Beast, or Sleeping Beauty's castle. And then it talks about like the special effects, lighting, projections, and more to carry us through the adventures. As
what it sounds like to me is they might be taking us through the animation process.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what they did with the Cirque du Soleil show, which is beautiful. And I recommend everybody to go see that in Orlando, Drawn to Life. It was amazing. Where they can project stuff on things and take you through like sketch to color.
They did it on the Beauty and the Beast 30 too.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Is they've already done it a little bit with Beauty and the Beast 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
And then they talk about how they're going to do the facade for Small World, and the Rivers of America will turn into an artist canvas, bringing stories to life all around you. And then select nights will have the Wondrous Journey. So there will be a new song. It's Wondrous. And then they will take us through.
We've heard it.
Like, you've heard it?
Yeah, they played it at
How
D23.
do I hear it?
Well, they played it live at D23 at the Disney Parks panel.
Yeah, we've heard it.
Sorry. It kind of sounds like the Illumineers song. Like, hey,
it's a very folky folk song-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Exactly. And now we need just Mad Tea Party back, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So they talk about like ripping, they talk about just taking it, from our heart and the spark of your imagination.
Yes.
So they definitely have a key on words and really bring it to magic. But I hope that they do this justice, and I hope they do not butcher it and just go off of what's popular. I hope they dig deep and they give us some history and some culture of the company itself.
They're going to have to.
I really, really am looking forward to that. Really looking forward.
I could picture, like I was saying, they'll do certain segments and you hear Walt talking and he'll talk something about hell's blah, 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 adventure. And you get a big old collage of Aladdin, Tarzan, Mulan, then, fantasy and love. Then you get, the princess movies and love and just then.
Yeah, I would love them to start from the beginning and just go from the timeline. Like start with Snow White or start with Mickey and then go through all of the animated movies and go through all up till now.
I hope it's that way.
Have you guys been to the Disney Museum?
Yeah.
In the city?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, girls, come up.
I know, right? We need to go up to San Francisco.
I
We
will
haven't been
host
there.
you.
Because this Sunday was actually supposed to be.
My house is small, but it will be totally fine.
Oh, yeah.
Couch, you guys can have my bed. But they take you through that Disney Museum. They take you through that journey, and it starts with the family. And I just visualize that, like taking us through that journey, taking us through that culture, taking us through his mind and his legacy. Gosh, I'm excited. I want to only think positive thoughts about it and just
if they don't end with Feed the Birds, what are they doing, right?
Because
I will be in tears. Okay, I will be in tears.
I think it even starts with Oswald before Mickey.
It might. If they have him back, it might.
100 years.
It might start and end with Oswald.
It's going to be crazy.
It'd be really cool to see them like projection map the partner statue. Projection map that with like Walt's opening day speech, and then it like breaks off into the fireworks show. That'd be really rad.
That would be cool.
Should have hired all of us. I
know, right?
Like
Why are we in this armchair Imagineering?
I'm telling you, I get one. We get one view of all of our shows from Burbank. You know, that's them checking us out.
David says they listen to us.
Yeah. And quick little update on the Family Museum. This Sunday was supposed to be the end of the big Jungle Book exhibit that they've had since the summertime. But there's been some damage because of weather to the museum that they expanded it to the beginning of March.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Yeah.
We're going the end of March. So I hope it's still there.
I'll get the dates for you. I just found that out from Alex.
I will tell you this, Disneyland is my favorite place. That place is my second favorite place. I've only been there once, and
we got to get out there.
It was the coolest thing.
We also have to go to the. Yeah, we need to go up there. Oh, yeah. We need to go up there, and we also need to go to the Huntington Library, where they have a beautiful exhibit with Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, and Cinderella right now.
Yeah.
That one's a little closer for us.
Is that all you got for that, Cole?
I can't wait for Wonders.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
I will say the song is going to grow on you, because the song, when we first heard it, I was like, this is not a happily ever after. This is not a wishes song. This is not that type of song. It's a slow building song, but I heard it the other day on another podcast. They were playing it, and I was like, oh yeah. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. So, like, it'll grow. This is gonna have you dancing down Main Street.
I'm gonna go listen to it when we get off. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
So real quick, I know I love Baymax, but what do you guys think of the choice of Baymax being the one that's flying up over?
I think it's a weird choice, really.
Yeah,
I think
and they're already testing
a weird choice.
There's been pictures.
I know.
They're already testing it
because
I don't mind it.
Zero's cool for Halloween.
Yeah.
Dumbo was. If you don't tear up when Dumbo's flying.
I know, right? I don't know what you're doing if it's 100 years and Tinkerbell's not flying over that castle. Exactly. I don't know what you're doing, because Tinkerbell is the icon of the Walt Disney Company, of Disneyland. I mean, Mickey's the icon, but Tinkerbell's a close second. But she's the parks. She flies over the castle. She does the little what Wonderful World of Disney ding. You know, like. She is. I don't know what you're doing, Disney, if Tinkerbell's not flying over that castle.
You got to have Tinkerbell in the beginning, but if you're going to have somebody that enable, or I can't think of the word, but
embodies.
Thank you.
Embodies, yeah.
The 100, other than Tinkerbell, like I said, I love Baymax, but I would love to see Mary Poppins with the umbrella.
Exactly.
Over the castle.
Yeah. Mary Poppins. Yeah. It should have been Mary Poppins, Jiminy Cricket, or Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
Or all of them. Shit.
Yeah. Put them all. Yeah.
I can't wait to see it.
I would love Baymax if it's Baymax, Tinkerbell, Mary Poppins, and like if it was somebody representing all generations, I'm fine. But
I mean, they put Nemo there the last time, so who knows?
Nemo was so weird.
Tie in, like how, and I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I just don't see how it ties in together. Like, I feel that that's like this random.
The only thing I can think of is that there's not a main song from Big Hero 6 except for the Fallout Boy song. Yeah, the Fallout Boy song. But that, it just doesn't track with the rest of the iconic Disney music from all the films. So I just feel like that's what they thought. I'm also curious if they're going to be adding Marvel and Star Wars and their live action stuff into this, because that's part of the company.
They didn't say anything about it.
It sounds like it's just animation.
Yeah, I think if you did it all, it'd be an hour-long fireworks show.
I mean, I'd stand there.
For sure.
I'm curious, though. Does that mean, because Baymax is Walt Disney Animation, so have we got confirmation that Pixar's in it?
I would think no.
Pixar might be the World of Color.
Yeah. They already have Star Wars. They already showed a
so they might be our live action, and Disneyland might be our Disneyland live action Pixar, and then Disneyland's going to be our animation.
They mentioned Soul and Coco and stuff for World of Color. So I'm good with that.
I mean,
I think
California's already Pixar heavy, so I feel like I feel like
that meshes with the parks vibes, each of their parks vibes. But if it's gonna attribute the whole company, I would like a little something from like all of their IPs, but we'll see.
So I think, Nicole, that was awesome. Thank you for that. I think, we have another show of this in 2 weeks. How about we discuss the World of Color 1 on that one? We break that down. Ladies, if you'd like to come back and join us, you're more than welcome. In 2 weeks.
Just let us know.
We'll break it down. We'll break down World of Color 1 because that's going to be just as cool.
Actually, we might be out of town in 2 weeks.
It's the 18th.
Yeah. The 18th. Oh, okay. Well, that's right before we leave.
Okay.
Right
but we'll talk about it. But
yeah,
I'll either be at Magic Kingdom or Epcot.
That's right. You're not going to be here. But yeah, this was awesome.
With a margarita in your hand.
Hey.
Yeah. I always worry about how do we make the shows an hour long, and it never ceases to amaze me that week. And I knew with this panel here talking that we were going to have some great conversation.
Disney people can talk.
Kelly, Courtney,
started.
What's that?
My friend? Oh. My friend is Stitch.
He's a pineapple upside down. He's a pineapple upside down.
Is that what you said?
Is that Lewis's?
No, Lewis. Who's your friend?
Lewis is this back here now. That's not one of your kids, is it?
No, that's our brother Garrett right there. I call him Ears though.
Call him what?
Yeah, that's what we do. So after the live stream, we usually shoot the shit for a couple hours and see what's up.
Is he got a tattoo on his head?
Yeah.
Does that hurt? Bro, did that hurt?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate all of you guys. Joey, thanks for joining us. Disney Universe Podcast. Check them out wherever you can on all of your social media platforms and podcast platforms. Neverland Clubhouse, right? Podcast.
Yeah, we're the Neverland Clubhouse, but on socials we're the Neverland Clubhouse Pod.
Right. Brought to you by Skynet.
Skynet.
I say Skynet. But I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome, and I feel like you're going to be regulars on with us this year. So I appreciate that you guys are cool. Lewis, Sunken City Dines, check them out. Nicole, thank you for the awesome getaway today commercial. I'm going to end the show a little differently with our Walt Disney thing here, but yeah, I appreciate all of you and thank you guys so much. And check us out on Patreon now because we're doing big things on Patreon to but check us out. Walt's Apartment on all of the social medias. And from all of us here at the Extra Magic Hour, we hope you have a magical day. Good night.
Good night.
Come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past, and here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.